The night sky above the ruined world was heavy with strange colors. Ash drifted in the air, glowing like fireflies under a broken moon. The land stretched empty for miles, nothing but shattered towers and black stone. A single human figure stood in this silent graveyard. His name was Alex. His boots crunched against the cracked ground as he walked slowly, eyes fixed on the strange container glowing in front of him. It was tall, silver, and marked with symbols no human could read. But the light inside it pulsed like a living heart, calling to him again and again. He did not notice at first that he was not alone. From the shadows, a figure moved. She was tall, with pale silver skin and eyes that carried both sorrow and fear. She was not human. She was the last of her people, a survivor of this ruined place. Her voice trembled as she stepped closer, her hands raised as if to stop him. "Do not drink," she whispered. Her words were soft, but they cut through the silence like a blade. "It is not for you. It will change you. It will end you." Alex turned, surprised by her sudden presence. Her face looked calm, but her eyes carried the weight of endless warnings. She had seen what that glowing liquid could do. Her people had fallen because of it. She had buried friends, family, an entire world, all destroyed by the promise hidden in that container. But Alex did not turn away. He felt drawn to it. Every pulse of the light seemed to call his name. It was not just a glow. It was a whisper inside his head. "Take me, drink me, become more." He shook his head as if to push the voice away, but the pull only grew stronger. The alien woman moved closer, almost desperate now. "You do not understand. It is poison for you, a curse. Once it enters you, there is no return." Her voice broke, her hands shaking. She was not begging for herself, she was begging for him. Alex narrowed his eyes. "Then why guard it? Why leave it here? If it is so dangerous, why not destroy it?" Her face turned pale. She looked away as if ashamed. "Because it cannot be destroyed. It is older than stars. It chooses rulers. It devours those who are weak. My people thought we were strong enough. We were not." The words made the air colder. Alex's heart pounded faster. He stepped closer to the container, ignoring her hand reaching out to stop him. Every step he took made the glow brighter, the hum louder. He felt something inside him respond, like his blood recognized it, like his soul had been waiting for this moment. The alien woman's voice rose, breaking the silence again. "Listen to me. You are human. This seed does not belong to you. You were never meant to carry it. If you drink, you will lose everything, your body, your mind, your world. Humanity will vanish in you." But Alex only stared at the container. Her words should have frightened him. Instead, they stirred a dangerous curiosity. Humans were always told they were weak, fragile compared to other races. Yet here it was, something that promised strength, something even aliens feared. And it was speaking to him. The wind howled through the broken towers, carrying the sound of her last warning. "Please," she whispered now, softer than before. Her voice carried sorrow, not anger. "Do not be the last mistake of this universe. Do not drink," but Alex's hands were already reaching forward. The container was warm to the touch, almost alive. He felt the hum rush through his arms, climbing into his chest. His breathing quickened. His heart felt like it would burst. For a long moment he stood still, staring into the glowing liquid inside. He could see his reflection in the glass, his human face staring back at him, but already shifting in strange patterns of light. His mind filled with questions. What if she was right? What if it killed him? But what if she was wrong? What if this was the key humanity had been waiting for? The power to rise above the stars, to never bow to anyone again. The alien woman took one final step toward him, her voice breaking into a cry. "Stop! If you do this, there is no going back." The silence that followed was unbearable. Alex's hand tightened around the container. The glow flared brighter, filling the dark ruins with blinding light. His eyes widened, caught between fear and desire. The hum became a roar, a storm inside his skull, and then, with a breath that shook his entire body, he lifted it closer to his lips. The alien woman's scream echoed through the night. The story had already begun. The glowing container touched Alex's lips, and for a heartbeat the world seemed to stop. The ruins fell silent. Even the wind froze, as if the planet itself held its breath. The alien woman's scream echoed in his ears, but her voice grew faint under the pounding of his own heart. He tilted the container and the liquid slid into his mouth. It was not like water. It was fire, lightning, and ice all at once. The drink burned his throat, spread into his chest, and shot through his veins like a storm of knives. He dropped to his knees, the container clattering beside him. His hands gripped the dirt as if the ground itself could hold him together. Every nerve in his body screamed. His bones felt like they were breaking and rebuilding at the same time. The alien woman rushed forward, her silver eyes wide with horror. She grabbed his shoulders, but the glow in his skin burned her hands, forcing her back. She watched helplessly as Alex writhed, his body caught between life and death. Visions exploded inside his mind. He saw Earth, blue oceans turning black, cities crumbling under alien fire, skies full of ships blotting out the sun. He saw stars dying one after another, collapsing into nothing. He saw alien armies bowing before a figure of light, and in the center of it all he saw himself. His face, but not his face. His eyes glowed like suns, his voice shook worlds. Humanity stood behind him, a force rising from the shadows. Alex gasped for air, his chest heaving. The visions vanished, but the echoes stayed in his skull. He lifted his head, sweat and light dripping from his skin. His eyes, once human, now shimmered faintly with a golden glow. The alien woman stepped back, her voice trembling. "You fool. You do not know what you have done." Alex staggered to his feet. His body still shook, but something was different. His hearing sharpened. He could hear the drip of water miles away. He could hear the heartbeat of the alien woman standing before him. His vision stretched further than ever. He could see every crack in the ruins, every movement in the shadows. His strength surged. The pain faded, replaced by a rush that felt like pure power. For a moment he almost smiled. But then the whispers began. They were not voices he knew. They were alien, deep, ancient. They filled his head, pressing into his mind. Chosen, vessel, ruler, destroyer. The words twisted inside him, pulling at his thoughts, shaking the foundation of who he was. Alex grabbed his head and stumbled, fighting the invisible storm. "Get out. Get out of my head." His shout echoed across the ruins. But the voices did not stop. The alien woman moved carefully, fear in her every step. "It has begun," she said softly. "The seed of empires has entered you. It will not stop. It will not rest until it decides what you are. Either it will crown you, or it will consume you." Her words struck him harder than the pain. "Consume me?" he asked, his voice rough, almost not his own. She nodded slowly. "It is not a gift. It is a test. Those who fail are not killed, they are erased." Nothing remains. Alex's hands shook. He looked at his reflection in a shattered piece of glass at his feet. His eyes were glowing brighter now. His skin carried faint lines of light, crawling like veins of fire beneath the surface. He did not look entirely human anymore. The power inside him surged again, and this time he felt his body lift for a moment, his boots barely touching the ground. A burst of energy spread around him, cracking the stone and sending dust into the air. The alien woman shielded her face, but her eyes never left him. "You should not have done this," she whispered. "My people thought we could master it. Instead, it mastered us. It turned us against each other until nothing was left. You are walking the same path." But Alex clenched his fists, his jaw tightening. "No, I'm not like them. I'm human, and humans don't kneel." His voice thundered, louder than before, as if the power itself agreed. The alien woman's face twisted between fear and sorrow. "That is what they all said," she replied. Before Alex could answer, his head snapped upward. He heard something she did not. Engines, not one, but many. The sky above them rumbled, and black shapes cut through the clouds. Alien warships, drawn by the sudden energy surge, descended like predators. Alex's new senses sharpened further. He could hear their weapons charging, feel their targeting systems locking onto him. The whispers in his head grew louder, almost excited. "Fight, kill, rule." The alien woman turned pale. "They know the seed is awake. They will not stop until they take it from you, or until you are dead." Alex's breathing slowed. His fear was gone now, replaced with something dangerous. Power rolled through his veins, making the ground tremble beneath his boots. For the first time in his life, he did not feel small under alien fire. He felt ready. He looked at the alien woman, his glowing eyes steady. "Then let them come." Above them, the warships roared closer, the sky turning red with their fire. The hunt had begun. The first blast from the alien warship struck the ground, shaking the ruins like an earthquake. Dust rose in waves, covering the broken towers in a storm of ash. Alex did not move. He stood in the middle of the crumbling battlefield, his glowing eyes fixed on the sky. His body felt alive, charged with something he could not fully control. The power inside him pulsed like a second heart, beating faster and louder than his own. The alien woman crouched behind a shattered wall, her silver skin glowing faintly in the firelight. Her eyes never left him. She knew what was happening. She had seen it before when her people drank the seed. They became something more, but never for long. Their strength grew wild, their minds slipped away, and in the end they were no longer themselves. She saw the first signs now in Alex. His movements were sharper, but his breathing was strange. Too calm, too steady, almost inhuman. Above, the warships fired again. Blazing energy streaked toward the ground. Alex raised his hand without thinking. Light exploded from his palm, bending reality itself. The beam from the ship struck his shield of energy and scattered into a shower of sparks. The ruins glowed like a burning forest. For a moment, Alex only stared at his hand. His mind screamed that what he had done was impossible, yet his body acted on its own. His fingers shook as he clenched them into a fist, feeling the raw force respond to his will. The whispers in his head returned, louder now, crawling under his skin. Yes, more. Use it. You are chosen. He staggered, pressing both hands to his temples. Stop it, get out of my head. He shouted, but the voices laughed, a chorus of alien tones echoing through his mind. He could not tell if they were real or only his imagination, but every word pushed him further from who he was. The alien woman rushed to his side, her voice sharp but desperate. Listen to me. The change has begun. You must resist it. If you let the seed control you, you will not survive. Alex's chest rose and fell with heavy breaths. His eyes locked on hers, glowing brighter than fire. I feel everything, he said in a voice that was not fully his own. I hear them. The ships. The soldiers inside. I know their fear. I know their hunger. I can almost taste it. Her face paled. She recognized those words. It was the same her people once said before the seed devoured them. The ground shook again as more warships descended. Hundreds of alien soldiers dropped from the sky, their armor shining, weapons charged. They moved in perfect formation, their eyes fixed on Alex. They did not fear the ruins nor the woman, but they feared what Alex had become. Alex clenched his fists, and the power surged. His skin cracked with faint golden lines, glowing veins of energy spreading like fire beneath his flesh. He felt unstoppable, and yet, somewhere deep inside, a part of him trembled. Was he still human? Or was he already becoming something else? The alien soldiers raised their weapons. Their commander's voice thundered across the battlefield. Human! You are unworthy of the seed. Surrender or be erased. Alex's lips curled into a strange smile. The voices in his head whispered, Do not surrender. Show them. Rule them. The alien woman stepped closer, her hand shaking as she reached for his arm. Please remember who you are. You are not like them. You must fight the seed, not with it. But Alex barely heard her. His senses stretched too far, his mind swimming with alien thoughts. He could hear the fear in the commander's heart. He could see every weakness in their formation. He could almost predict their next move. The soldiers fired. A storm of plasma bolts rained down. Alex raised both hands and a wave of energy exploded outward, scattering the shots like pebbles in the wind. The shockwave knocked soldiers off their feet, tearing apart the ruins in every direction. Silence followed, broken only by the crackle of fire. Dozens of aliens lay stunned on the ground. Alex stood tall in the center, his chest glowing with each breath. For the first time, the soldiers hesitated. The alien woman's heart sank. He was strong, too strong. Every second the seed lived inside him, it made him less human. His voice when he spoke again sent chills through her bones. They cannot stop me, Alex said. His tone was calm, almost cold, but his eyes burned like suns. No one can. The alien woman shook her head, tears filling her eyes. That is not your voice. That is the seed speaking through you. Alex turned to her, and for a moment she thought she saw him hesitate. Deep inside the golden glow, a flicker of his true self struggled to break through. His jaw tightened, and he whispered so quietly she almost didn't hear. I am still me. But the glow spread further across his body, and the voices laughed again in his skull. The soldiers began to regroup, charging their weapons once more. Alex stood between them and the alien woman, his glowing veins pulsing like molten fire. He felt the choice tearing at him. Hold on to his humanity or give in to the power completely. The battle was only beginning. The change had already taken root. The ruins burned with the glow of plasma fire. Smoke rose in black pillars, twisting into the night sky where alien warships circled like vultures. Alex stood in the center of the destruction, his body alive with strange light. Each breath he took made the ground tremble faintly, as if the planet itself responded to him. Around him, alien soldiers regrouped, forming ranks with deadly precision. The alien woman stayed behind the broken wall, her eyes fixed on him. She could see it clearly now, the change spreading through his body, the seed digging its roots deeper. His movements were sharp, too perfect, his stance too still. He was human, yes, but every second he carried that power, he was becoming something more and something less. The soldiers raised their weapons. Their commander shouted again, his metallic voice echoing through the air. "Human, you carry what does not belong to you. Surrender the seed and we will grant you a quick death. Resist and you will be erased from existence." Alex tilted his head, listening not only to the words but to the thoughts behind them. He could feel the fear in their hearts, the doubt in their ranks. The whispers in his mind encouraged him, pressing against his thoughts. "They fear you. Use it, crush them. Take what is yours." His lips curved into a small, dangerous smile. "If you want it," he said, his voice low but carrying across the battlefield. "Come and take it." The first wave of soldiers charged. Their boots shook the ground as they fired a storm of plasma. Alex moved faster than thought. He leapt into the air, his body trailing golden light. The blasts tore into the ruins where he had stood, but he was already above them, striking down with a wave of energy that sent the front line flying. Stone shattered, armor cracked, and the ground split open under the impact. The alien woman covered her face against the storm of dust, her heart pounding. She wanted to call out, to remind him to stop, to hold on to his humanity, but she knew he would not hear her. The seed was speaking louder now, drowning out everything else. More soldiers surrounded him, circling like wolves. Alex's senses stretched further than ever. He could see the heat of their weapons, the tremble of their hands, the faint rhythm of their steps. It was all too clear, too easy. He struck again and again, moving with inhuman speed, each motion flowing like water but landing with the force of thunder. Within minutes, dozens of soldiers lay broken. Some moaned, others were silent, their weapons scattered across the ruins. The surviving ones hesitated, fear freezing their legs. But the warships above did not pause. Their cannons charged, glowing with energy strong enough to level cities. Alex lifted his head, his golden eyes reflecting the fire building in the sky. He should have felt fear. Instead, he felt a rush, a hunger. The whispers cheered in his mind. Yes, face them. Show them your power. Show them what humanity truly is. The alien woman ran to him, her voice desperate. Stop, you cannot fight them all. You will burn yourself away. Alex turned to her, his expression unreadable. For a heartbeat, the glow in his eyes dimmed and she thought she saw him. The real Alex struggling to surface. His lips parted and he whispered, almost like a plea, I can't stop. The words chilled her more than the battle. She realized it was no longer just a fight. It was a hunt on both sides. The aliens hunted him for the seed, but the seed itself was hunting Alex, pulling him deeper into its control. The warships opened fire. Beams of pure destruction rained down, tearing the ruins apart. Alex raised both arms and a dome of energy spread from his body. The blast struck, shaking the shield but not breaking it. His teeth clenched as the power burned through him, each strike forcing him to give more, to surrender more. The alien woman screamed, covering her ears against the roaring storm. Alex, if you keep doing this, the seed will take everything. Fight it or you will be lost. Her words cut through the haze for a second. Alex's eyes flickered and his shield wavered. He could feel it, the edge between control and surrender. He could either let go and lose or hold on and burn alive. The soldiers saw the shield weaken and charged again. The commander pointed his blade toward Alex. Bring him down! The seed must not belong to humans. Alex's body trembled. His veins glowed brighter, cracking his skin with rivers of light. He was breaking apart, yet his voice thundered through the ruins, carrying a force beyond human. You think I'm weak because I'm human, he roared, energy exploding from him in every direction. Then you don't know humanity at all. The blast leveled the battlefield. Soldiers were hurled into the air. Warships staggered, alarms echoing through the sky. The alien woman shielded herself, tears streaming down her face. He was winning. But with every victory, she could feel him slipping further away. When the dust cleared, Alex stood alone among the wreckage, his body glowing like a living star. His eyes burned with golden fire, but his expression was blank, cold. The whispers had grown louder than ever, drowning out everything else. And above, more warships were already descending. The hunt was far from over. The battlefield was silent, but only for a moment. Smoke curled from the shattered ruins, carrying the bitter smell of fire and ash. Alien soldiers lay scattered across the broken ground, groaning in pain or not moving at all. Above, the warships circled, regrouping, their engines rumbling like distant thunder. Alex stood in the middle of the wreckage, glowing faintly, his chest rising and falling in steady breaths. His body was covered in lines of light, cracks that spread across his skin like rivers of molten gold. Each crack pulsed with power, but each pulse also stole a piece of him. His fists shook, not from fear but from the force boiling inside, begging to be unleashed again. The alien woman stepped forward cautiously, her silver eyes locked on him. She wanted to reach out to remind him he was still Alex, still human, but she saw how far he was slipping. His stance was rigid, his gaze unblinking, his voice when he spoke deeper than before. "They will keep coming," he said flatly, as though he could already see the reinforcements on their way. "They will never stop until I kill them all." "No," she whispered quickly, shaking her head. "Listen to me. Killing is not victory. This is the seed's trap. It wants you to believe only power can save you. But that is how my people died. They used it until it consumed them." Alex turned his glowing eyes toward her. For a heartbeat, she thought she saw the man beneath, the soldier who had once fought not for himself but for his people. But then the whispers surged again in his head, drowning out her words. "Do not listen. You are chosen. They are beneath you. Rule or be ruled." His jaw tightened. His mind was splitting between two voices, hers and the seed's. The warships above shifted. One lowered closer, its doors opening. A line of alien captains stepped out, their armor heavier, their weapons forged with energy strong enough to pierce cities. They moved with perfect unity, their eyes sharp and cold. These were not soldiers. These were executioners. Their leader spoke, his voice carried by amplified speakers.
"Human, you are nothing but a mistake."
"That seed was not made for your kind. It was meant for empires, not insects. Give it to us, and we will erase your suffering quickly. Resist, and we will erase your species slowly." The alien woman's breath caught. She turned to Alex, her voice urgent. "Do you hear them? They do not fear you. They fear what you could become. That is why they hunt you, but you must not answer them with more power. If you do, you are no longer fighting for humanity, you are fighting for the seed." Alex's hands curled into fists, his veins glowing brighter. "And what if the only way to save humanity is to become what they fear?" Her heart sank. His words were too close to the same mistake her people made. She stepped forward, placing her trembling hand against his chest, against the burning cracks of light. "No, humanity is not power. Humanity is choice. That is why you are different. That is why the seed chose you. Not because you are strongest, but because you can choose not to be." Alex froze, her words battling against the whispers clawing at his mind. For a moment he swayed, caught between two paths. Then the alien captains raised their weapons. A surge of energy lit the ruins, their guns aimed directly at him. The commander roared, "Enough! End this creature!" Dozens of beams fired at once, streaking through the air. Alex reacted without thought. He lifted both arms and the energy exploded outward, forming a dome of pure light. The blast struck, but instead of scattering like before, the shield bent the energy, twisting it into streams that flowed back at the attackers. Several captains screamed as their own fire tore into them. The alien woman staggered back, covering her mouth in shock. He had not only defended himself, he had bent reality to his will. But the cracks across his skin deepened, the light spreading dangerously. Every use of this power tore away a piece of Alex's humanity. The commanders regrouped, circling him like predators. The commander sneered. "You are not human anymore. Look at yourself. You are a monster." "You are ours," Alex's chest heaved. His glowing eyes locked on the alien leader, but behind them a storm raged. He could feel himself slipping, the seed urging him to let go, to unleash everything, to burn this army and rise above them all. He wanted to. The hunger was overwhelming, but then, faintly, he heard another sound. A memory. His sister's laughter back on Earth, a small voice calling his name. A flash of his mother's face, weary but strong. His people, fragile, imperfect, but alive. That was humanity. That was what he was fighting for. His hands trembled. He lowered them slightly, forcing the shield to fade. The alien woman gasped in disbelief. "You would surrender?" The commander mocked, raising his blade. Alex's voice came out hoarse, torn between the seed and himself. "No," he whispered. "Not surrender. Choice." The alien leader froze, uncertain. The seed screamed in his head, furious. "Weakness, fool! Destroy them!" But Alex held on, clinging to the flicker of humanity left inside him. His test had begun, not against the aliens, but against himself. The next moment would decide whether he remained human or whether he was already lost. The night sky split open with fire. Warships circled lower, their cannons glowing like miniature suns. The alien captains advanced in tight formation, their weapons pointed at Alex. The ruins shook under the weight of engines and footsteps. The battlefield was no longer silent, it was alive with the sound of war. Alex stood in the center, cracks of golden light racing across his skin, his chest glowing like a furnace. His breaths were heavy, but his stance was strong. He could feel the seed boiling inside him, its whispers louder than ever, filling his mind with one command. Unleash. Rule. Burn them all. The alien woman's voice trembled as she shouted above the roar.
"Alex, if you give in now, you will lose yourself forever."
He clenched his fists, the light pulsing brighter, and turned his glowing eyes toward her. For a moment there was conflict, his human self fighting the storm inside. Then the aliens fired. 1,000 beams of plasma tore through the night, streaking down like deadly rain. Alex lifted both arms and the air itself cracked. A shield of light burst from him, bending the beams, splitting them, sending fire back at the attackers. Explosions ripped across the field as alien soldiers fell, their weapons shattered. The commanders charged through the chaos, their blades crackling with dark energy. They moved faster than the human eye could follow. But Alex's vision was no longer human. He saw each strike before it came, each step before it landed. He moved with impossible speed, blocking one blade with his bare hand, shattering another with a burst of light. Every motion felt right, too right. His body responded before his mind could think. Like the seed had already taken command. He struck hard, sending captains flying, their armor breaking under the force. The whispers in his head laughed with every blow. "Yes, stronger, faster, you are not a man, you are destiny itself." But with each strike, Alex felt his humanity slipping. His voice when he roared no longer sounded like his own. His glowing skin cracked wider, the light pouring out like fire escaping a broken shell. The alien woman ran closer, dodging falling debris, her eyes filled with fear. "Alex, stop! If you keep going, the seed will burn you alive." But he could not stop. A warship descended overhead, its cannons charging for a final devastating blast. Alex raised both hands and released a surge of energy so massive the ground shattered, towers crumbled, and the sky lit up brighter than day. The beam tore through the warship, splitting it in half. Flames rained down, metal crashing into the ruins. The aliens faltered. For the first time, their commander hesitated. His soldiers looked at Alex not as prey but as something beyond comprehension. A single human had done what entire fleets could not. But Alex staggered, clutching his chest. The cracks in his body spread further, golden light spilling out like blood. His breathing grew ragged. The seed was no longer whispering, it was screaming, demanding more. "Finish them! You are no longer Alex, you are us. You are Empire!" The alien woman rushed to him, tears streaming down her face. She grabbed his arm, ignoring the heat of the light burning her skin. "Fight it. You are not Empire, you are human. If you give in, Earth will lose you forever." For a moment, Alex's eyes flickered. The golden fire dimmed, and he saw her, truly saw her through the storm. Her face, desperate but pleading, pulled at the last piece of him that was still his. The alien commander raised his blade for the killing strike, seizing the distraction. Alex turned, instinct taking over. He lashed out with a blast so strong it vaporized the commander in a flash of light. The soldiers cried out in shock, stumbling backward, but Alex fell to his knees. The light was too much now, cracking his body wide open. He could feel himself slipping into nothing, becoming only the seed's vessel. His voice came out hoarse, broken. "I don't know how much longer. I can hold on." The alien woman knelt beside him, clutching his face, forcing him to look at her. "Then make the choice now. End it." Do not let the seed choose for you. Choose for yourself. Choose for humanity. Alex's chest burned, his body trembling between collapse and explosion. Above, more warships descended, ready to strike. The whispers shrieked inside his head, furious. Kill them all, rule.
You are ours!
But another voice echoed deeper, faint but strong. The memory of his sister, his mother, the laughter of his people. Humanity was not about ruling. It was about enduring, about choosing, even in the face of death. He rose slowly, the light around him blazing brighter than ever, turning night into day. The soldiers froze, shielding their eyes. The alien woman stepped back, realizing what he was about to do. Alex spread his arms wide, his voice thunderous across the battlefield. I am human, and I choose. The ground shook violently, energy crackling through the air. Warships trembled above, soldiers stumbled in fear. The final choice was moments away. The ruins glowed like the heart of a dying star. The cracks across Alex's skin shone so brightly it was hard to look at him. His body trembled, his chest burned with fire, and the seed's voice roared inside his skull. Do it, unleash, become more than human. Burn them all. Above, alien warships hovered, their cannons ready to fire. On the ground, soldiers waited in silence, unsure if they faced a man or a god. The air was heavy, as though the universe itself leaned in to watch. Alex's arms were spread wide, light bursting from every vein. He felt the seed pushing harder, demanding he surrender the last piece of himself. The alien woman stood a few steps away, her face streaked with dirt and tears. She had seen this moment before with her own people. None had resisted. All had chosen power and all had been destroyed. Her voice cut through the chaos, trembling but steady. Alex, this is the end. Not of the battle, of you. The seed will not let you live if you give it everything. You have to choose. Power or humanity. He turned his glowing eyes toward her. For a moment he saw not an alien, not an enemy, but a survivor. Someone who understood what it meant to watch her people fall to the very thing inside him. Her warning was not fear, it was truth. The warships charged, their cannons pulsing brighter. The soldiers raised their weapons, waiting for the order. The seed screamed in his mind, furious. Destroy them. They are nothing. You are empire. You are forever. Alex staggered, clutching his chest as the fire threatened to rip him apart. Memories flashed before his eyes. His sister's smile back on Earth, his mother's weary hands, his father's quiet strength, the laughter of friends long gone. Humanity was fragile, yes, but it was real. It was choice. It was love. He straightened, lifting his head high. The glow around him flared brighter, and the soldiers stumbled back, shielding their eyes. His voice thundered across the battlefield, filled with both fire and sorrow. I am not empire. I am not forever. I am human, and I choose humanity. The seed shrieked in his mind, a storm of rage and despair. No, fool! You throw away eternity. Alex smiled faintly, his voice calm even as his body cracked open. Eternity means nothing without being human. He slammed both hands against the ground. A wave of light exploded outward, brighter than the sun. It rushed through the ruins, tore through the air, and swallowed the battlefield whole. Warships shuddered, their cannons melting. Soldiers were thrown to the ground, their weapons shattered. The energy did not kill them. It erased only the seed's influence, tearing away its hold. The alien woman fell to her knees, shielding her eyes as the storm raged. She could feel it, the seed's scream fading, burning into nothing. But she also felt Alex's life slipping with it. When the light faded, silence returned. The warships hung powerless, drifting without fire. Soldiers looked around in shock, their weapons dead. The battlefield was no longer theirs. It was empty, quiet, waiting. In the center stood Alex, barely standing. The golden glow was gone, leaving only faint cracks across his skin. His chest rose and fell weakly. His eyes, no longer blazing, were simply human again. The alien woman rushed to him, catching him as he collapsed. His body was heavy, trembling. She pressed her ear to his chest, hearing the slow, fading beat of his heart. You did it, she whispered, tears slipping down her face. You chose, and you won. Alex smiled faintly, his lips cracked but steady. Not for me, he said softly. For them. For Earth, for all of us. His hand slipped from hers, falling limp to the ground. For a terrible moment she thought he was gone. But then, faintly, his chest rose again. His heart still beat. Weak, fragile, but alive. The seed had not taken him. He had given up its power and in doing so saved his humanity. The alien soldiers looked on in silence, their commander gone, their warships crippled. None dared step forward. For the first time, they saw a human not as prey, not as weak, but as something far more dangerous, someone who could choose when no one else could. The alien woman looked at the sky, where the smoke thinned and stars began to shine through again. She whispered to herself, almost in awe. Perhaps humanity was never weak. Perhaps it was waiting. Beside her, Alex's breathing steadied, though his body was broken. He had no glowing veins now, no fire, no whispers. He was simply human again, fragile, small, but undefeated. And in that moment, surrounded by silence, even the stars seemed to bow. The story of the seed had ended. But the story of humanity had only just begun.